Are you smarter than this college graduate? Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. That's just my little buddy. His name is Dozer. He's really smart, but he doesn't wear glasses. He does lots of tricks to get treats, though. Tell me he doesn't know what he's doing. Dozer told me about Captain Weirdo. Captain Weirdo has granted us exclusive access to his top 10 traffic tips, and I'm going to share them with you in this short video. Tip number 1, everything is practice. It's important that you get into the mindset that everything is practice. You'll screw up all the time and do stupid things. You'll even be embarrassed sometimes, but you must still practice, practice, practice. Practice generating traffic. Write a blog post and publish it, edit it later. Write an article and submit it, write a better one later. Do a YouTube video and email your list about it, make a better one later. Understand that you're going to screw up and do stuff wrong. In fact, your early stuff is going to suck. The idea is to have it suck publicly so at least you can get permanent traffic from it. Tip number 2, practice publicly. Screw up publicly. Doing it publicly accelerates the learning curve exponentially. It will also give you tough skin, which is critical in business, especially online. A lot of people are either embarrassed or afraid to practice using their own story to generate traffic, or they've never heard of this idea. They try to be very factual. The fact is that people don't make their decision based on facts. They make their decisions based on an emotion. If you focus your attention on communicating to people in a way that makes them feel something, you'll automatically have an incredible edge. Not only short term, but long term, because you'll bond with your prospects in a way that is absolutely, positively, unquestionably indestructible. That is why I want you to use your story in every form of traffic that you generate. So what happens if you fail at this, if your story isn't a success? Don't worry about it. Most of your stories won't be a success. You're going to fail a lot probably, but remember, everyone screws stuff up. If you've ever watched a basketball game, you've seen it. People miss the basket all the time. Plan on it. It's all about practice and practicing in public. Practice is good, but practice in public is better. You put more juice into it. You're going to screw it up several times. It might take 10 tries before you get something that really locks in with people. It's okay. Tip number 3, get a tough skin. Once you start generating traffic, sooner or later someone's going to think you're the devil, someone's going to hate you, someone's going to call you a jerk, someone's going to say you're trying to scam people. If you're getting enough traffic, it's inevitable. The more successful you become, the more criticism you'll get. Nobody likes to be criticized, but it will happen, and you need to get used to it. If you get 100 positive testimonials, one person who says you're a jerk, you'll probably go to bed thinking about the one who said you're a jerk. It's just human nature. We don't like to have people tell us that they hate us, which is totally understandable. You'll only ever develop thick skin by practicing getting criticized. If you're doing good work, over time you'll get hundreds, if not thousands of people who applaud and commend you for the tremendous work that you're doing. Focus on that as much as possible. With the first 20, 30 times that people call you the devil, you feel it. You want to get that out of the way as soon as possible so that you can stay focused on really making a positive difference in as many people's lives as humanly possible. When you're touching people emotionally, you'll get a rise out of them, either positive or negative. Those negative comments often shut people down. My biggest recommendation to you is don't worry about it. Keep moving and do what you know in your heart that you're here to do. Tip number 4, be extremely prolific. Say something to the world every single day, no matter what. Whether it's a Twitter post, a YouTube video, an article that you release, or 10-minute seminar that you're doing, be extremely prolific. Have more to say than anyone else out there. You'll capture more eyeballs and more people will be involved with you and want to hear what you have to say. Say whatever's on your mind. Just talk about stuff like you're doing a journal. Remember, blog is short for weblog. Basically, early blogs and some of the most popular ones today are simply online journals about what's going on in people's lives. Say something interesting and relevant in all your emails, articles, videos, and everything that you do. Say something interesting first and relevant to your topic center. Second, keep it interesting and relevant. It could be about an idea that you had while you're eating breakfast this morning. Talk to them about your breakfast for a little bit and then talk about the idea. Half of the day, everyone who works for my company is spent doing traffic generation. We're just starting to do this. The results are not in yet. However, the most important thing, in my opinion, for an internet-based business is traffic. Without traffic, there's no customers, period. We used to spend about an hour a day generating traffic, but now we divide it up into teams, and we are spending literally about 3 hours every day doing it. People sometimes say, well, now you're big enough to do that. But even when I was a one-man operation, I spent half my time driving traffic. I had to. Choose 1 or 2 types of traffic that really resonate with you. Focus on telling your story over and over again throughout these types of traffic. The more you do it, the easier it will become. You'll get in the habit of doing it, which is important. The more traffic you drive, the bigger your list will become. Then you can generate as much traffic as you want on demand. That's really the name of the game. Tip number 5, get a flip video camera and use it every day. Get one and use it once a day, even if you don't use every video. Use your flip video to record once a day so that you can get used to talking to your camera and doing things in one take, so you can really get out there and start teaching people, talking about your story, getting information, and getting cool facts out there as they come to you. People ask whether they should script their videos, use an outline, or just kind of wing it. I always wing it every time. Get an idea and just go with it. There are a few key elements you'll want to include in your video. Make sure you include a URL. If you link to your blog, tell people to click on the comments link and tell you what they think. Always have some kind of call to action at the end of your video. Get them to add comments by asking them their opinion. Tip number 6, do a teleseminar or a webinar with at least 4 people. If you do this, you'll add several hundred, probably several thousand people to your list in a very short period of time. That makes it much easier to do email cross promotions with people. With any less than 4, you'll have a hard time getting much momentum. The goal is to reach new people to add to your list, and the best way to do that is get in front of a new audience. When you're just starting out, you should probably start with just 4 people. But ultimately, it's a lot more powerful if you can do a seminar with 10 to 12 people. More than that, it's almost overwhelming. The best way to do one teleseminar a week for as many weeks as you've got presenters. Make sure all of your speakers have a minimalist size of 10,000 or more, and they all agree to mail them at least 3 times for your big event. You let them know the date that you're going to launch it. It's kind of like a micro launch with about 10 or 12 joint venture partners. Obviously, the fewer people you have to deal with, the easier it is to organize. Everybody promotes the event and sells their stuff at the end of their calls. They're putting themselves in front of a brand new, highly responsive list of people who are, for the most part, haven't heard of them before. They're also creating the same situation with you because they are all mailing out to their list. So you actually build a list that you keep that are bonded with you because you're doing the interviews on each one of those teleseminars. Start by telling the story of why you did the teleseminar series, what you're looking to learn. Really take on the role of the interviewer. Don't ever try to be the expert if you're the interviewer. Try to be a knowledge sponge instead. Implement what you've learned in that teleseminar as quickly as possible. That creates a whole story for you to start telling your audience based on the results you get from implementing what you learned from interviewing all those brilliant folks. The teleseminar series model works like crazy. Whenever I want fresh new lists of highly responsive subscribers that will buy tons of stuff, I do a teleseminar series. It takes some work. It's kind of like a launch in terms of the work leading up to it, but it works very well. What I learned about teleseminars, I went from 10,000 a month to earning 100,000 a month from the same size list. That was a massive jump, obviously. Interviewing people who know more than you do is the quickest shortcut to success. If you're trying to serve a market that involves improvement in any way, which is most markets, then you can very easily interview people. When someone says something that relates to something in your life, you can make a little comment about it. Referencing personal experience in an interview series is one of the most powerful ways to get people to feel like they know you. And that's really the whole point. It's to basically make friends with all your customers. You want to make friends with all your customers so they will take your advice without a second thought. The more you can do that, the easier it is for you to make money and the easier it is for you to be really, really successful. Even when you write emails to get people on the teleseminars, you can talk about things in your story. Here's the exciting part. When you focus on asking questions in your interviewees that relate back to your story, you can focus on implementing what you learn and reporting back to your list about the results that you got. This immediately bonds you to all the people who listened to that interview because most of them never took any action on it. That is another very powerful, easy way to bring an interview into your real-life story simply by implementing what you learned during a previous interview. How to turn a teleseminar series into free traffic and then into a lot of sales. There are 2 ways of doing this. If you're a rank beginner, then I recommend the first way. If you're more advanced, I recommend you use the first way and the second way. First way is to sell your interviewees products at the end of each call through their affiliate program. That is another requirement to be involved in your teleseminar series. They have to have a list of 10,000 people or more. They have to have an opt-in box, preferably a squeeze page, on the home site page of their website. That way you know they have a decent list that is growing rapidly. And they have to have an affiliate program. You really shouldn't accept anyone who has an affiliate program that's giving you any less than 50% of the sale. If they're giving you less than 50%, turn them away. Say, no, I'm not giving you free money. In many industries, you'll be turning a lot of people away because they're being cheap. You really don't want to associate with people who are cheap. You want to associate with people who are like-minded and want to share wealth with people who are generating sales for them. My recommendation is to sell another person's product at the end of each one of the calls that you do. You want to have that product be a minimum of $500, preferably $1,000 or more. if you really want to turn this not only into sales, but a huge amount of profit that you can immediately put in your pocket. The second way is more advanced, but here's the simple version. After people opt in for your teleseminar series, you immediately do a one-time offer where you sell the recordings and transcripts of all the calls, even if they are not done yet. This allows you to make intermediate cash because people will buy the recordings and transcripts. They won't be able to make all of the calls. If you're lucky, between 30 and 50% of the folks who sign up for the teleseminar series will actually be on the calls. Most will never get on the calls. Selling the recordings and transcripts is beneficial to everyone. I recommend charging between $47 and $97 for a series of teleseminar recordings and transcripts. It all depends on your market. You should test it with your own marketplace. How to find great teleseminar partners. You need to be selective about who you'll do teleseminars with. If they don't have a list of 10,000 or more people that are willing to mail 3 times to promote your teleseminars, they are not eligible. If they don't have an affiliate program that pays 50% and is set up and ready to go, they are not eligible. If they don't have a product that costs at least $500, they are not eligible. If they regularly speak in public or on teleseminars, they're probably someone you want to be looking for. Finding seminar speakers to participate in your teleseminar series is great because they can do it from their home or their hotel room if they're traveling to speak somewhere else. Most book authors are going to be a total waste of your time because they typically don't know how to build a list and they rarely have an expensive product to sell. Usually they won't even know what an affiliate program is. Book authors have something to say, but they won't meet your criteria 99% of the time. Some book authors become book authors after they've learned good marketing. These are usually the guys you want to work with. You want to deal with people who understand good marketing. Please remember the world has billions of people running around on it. There are lots of people in your niche who know good marketing. It might take you a few days to track down enough of them to get involved in your series, but be persistent. Don't just spend an hour looking and then give up saying there's nobody who knows what they're doing in my niche. You need to be more diligent than that. Look at seminars on your topic and find the speakers and their websites. Usually be able to find their phone number and email on their site. When you're starting out, you want to aim for people who have a list in the 10,000 range. Most of them are either going to have the contact information on their website, or you can go to domaintools.com to search for their website. The bigger someone becomes, the harder it is to get in touch with them. You're not going to find their contact information on their website, so you may want to go to some of these seminars to try to get in contact with them there. If you're just starting out, people who are just starting out might be asking themselves, if I don't have a list, why would someone do a teleseminar with me? Well, first of all, you want to admit you don't have a list. Be upfront and honest with that. Say, listen, I'm putting together a teleseminar series with 10 experts. Here are the 45 people that I'm inviting, but I can only accept the first 10 to respond. You'll notice that your name is on the list. I would love it if you would get involved. If you're interested in getting involved in my teleseminar series so we can help promote your products and services, be specific about what they offer. I would love you to get involved, but in all seriousness, I only have 10 spots. I'm contacting the 45 to 50 people in the next 24 hours. The first 10 who are the best matches to respond can get involved. We're putting this together pretty quickly. We'd love to have you. It's all about momentum. You want to contact 50 people in a day rather than doing it one person at a time over several weeks. Get it done fast because all of these guys know each other. Immediately when they see each other's names on the list, they'll call each other to ask about whether they're getting involved. You want to make sure that you hit everyone on the same day. It's not hard to send 50 emails with some personalization in a day. You can do it in an hour. You're creating an event that they will all ultimately be mailing out for. That's where the new exposure is going to come from. Let them know that you're going to be doing press releases, articles, blog posts, and YouTube videos about each of their calls, and that you'll drive traffic from additional sources, but the big spike is going to come when everybody mails to their lists. Tip number 7, do a cross promotion at least once a week. Doing an email cross promotion weekly will consistently generate fresh blood and more people who are interested in what you're doing. Once you have a list, it's very easy to do email cross promotions or joint ventures. If I have a list of 10,000 people and you have a list of 10,000 people, we might send 2 or 3 emails out for each other's stuff 2 or 3 days in a row and generate a whole bunch of new subscribers and customers for each other. Again, those emails that go out are telling part of your story about how you got started, perhaps giving away something or driving to a sales page. The email going out to someone's list is their first introduction to you. If you can bond with them emotionally right out of the gate, it can be hugely profitable. You can easily do cross promotions with the same people in your teleseminar series. Then do a press release for each of the calls. Press releases are great because you can turn around and get traffic from people who are interested in you or your speaker. You'll get more opt-ins because they have to opt in order to get on the call. You should also be looking for people you can do the golden rule cross promotions with. It's really simple because it's just a matter of adding an email to your autoresponder and having them do the same. Anyone who joins your list will see their email, and anyone who joins their list will see your email because it's in their series. It's very easy and totally free if you have an autoresponder. If you don't have an autoresponder, you need one. This is how you build your list. Turning email cross promotions into free traffic and then into sales. An email cross promotion is really simple. You have a list, they have a list, you send emails to each other's list that get people to go to your websites and buy stuff. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. All you have to do is pay someone a percentage of the sales made through your affiliate program. You both build your list, you both generate customers, and you build a stronger bond with that person in a business environment. It's very quick and easy to tell your story and immediately start generating cash. Tip number 8. Never do traffic sources that you hate doing. Do stuff that you like doing, not stuff that you hate doing. Some people hate doing PPC. If you don't like it, looking at numbers, it seems like drudgery. You don't want to spend time doing it. Work on the kinds of traffic generation that excites you, that you look forward to working on. Try a whole bunch of different traffic techniques and then try them more than once. Try them 5 or 6 times. If you find that it's total drudgery and you hate doing it, don't do it. You don't want to take up time in your life doing stuff you hate. If you want to pay somebody else to do them and generate profitable traffic, that's great. But when you try and do stuff you hate, you probably won't do it consistently. In order for traffic to work, no matter what it is, you have to do it consistently. Tip number 9, record everything and turn it into traffic. You should record every teleseminar you do. Take all your videos and get them transcribed. They all become blog posts and articles. Do it yourself or hire a ghostwriter. Every time a word comes out of your mouth that is any way, shape, or form related to your topic, you've got to record it, transcribe it, and get it out there driving traffic to your opt-in page. Free traffic is all about having something to say and putting it out there. If you're interviewing people with a big list and you have a reason you're doing the interview, tell your story to their list so they can get people to opt in and get involved in your teleseminar series. If you put out a press release about an interview you're about to do or an interview you just did, that's free traffic. If you do a blog post, Twitter tweet, YouTube video, or an article about something you're about to do or you're doing or you just finished doing, that's more free traffic. The goal is to have something valid, relevant, and interesting to talk about rather than just making up something lame and boring. Tip number 10, last but not least, drive all the traffic that you create to a squeeze page. This is the most critical tip because it's how you get the most out of your traffic and be able to generate as much free traffic as you want on a day-to-day basis by simply writing an email. You must drive all your free traffic to an opt-in page. If you break this rule, you're most likely going to fail. I constantly find that people who have websites and claim that they followed all the directions but are still not successful exclusively break this one rule. Don't break it unless you want to fail. Always, 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 always drive traffic to a squeeze page, a forced opt-in page. Drive to a page where the only thing people can do is enter their name and email address in order to get more information from you. You cannot have a whole bunch of other options on that page. Make your squeeze page the home page of your website. Don't allow yourself to resist this rule with a bunch of objections. Simply ask yourself whether you'll take the advice of someone who's making more money than you. If the answer is yes, then get a squeeze page and get rid of whatever you currently have on your home page of your website, because that is probably what's killing you. Your free traffic comes from building your giant list. You get free traffic to come to your page one time. Most of them opt in, and now you can have free traffic for the rest of your life. If you do not do that, you will not have free traffic for the rest of your life. All your other efforts will be in vain. The first key is to always drive all of your traffic directly to a squeeze page every single time without exception. That's the end of the Weirdo traffic tips. Captain Weirdo is played by Telvin Knudsen. He's weird, but he makes a ton of fun golas online. I thought his 10 traffic tips were dynamite and worth sharing. So about now you're probably thinking, well, that's all well and good, but I don't have a squeeze page and I don't know how to build one. What do I do? Well, the answer is to have it done for you or learn to do it yourself. I have a great offer for you here on Fiverr.com/BlueJam. I'll show you how to set up a squeeze page. And in that gig, you automatically get the free template. You get a squeeze page that's easy to fill out. You just fill in the blanks and you load it up to your website, and bam, you have a squeeze page to drive traffic to. Now, it does require that you have hosting and an autoresponder. I recommend Aweber and HostGator. And I also recommend that you go to my Fiverr page, fiverr.com/BlueJam/ show you how to set up a squeeze page, and order my gig, and then you'll have a squeeze page. It's just that simple, and I won't abandon you. I will follow up and make sure that your squeeze page works and that your code is correctly inserted in the squeeze page and that you get it loaded to your server and you start following Captain Wierdos and traffic tips and start succeeding at making more money online. Hey, I thank you. My college graduate thanks you. This presentation of the Jeff Davis Marketing Show. Peace.